It's a beautiful day here on the farm. The seedlings are sprouting, tomatoes, some flowers. Sun is shining. We've made the move. We are here in Weston, Connecticut, and praise be the highest powers that be that allow these visions to become reality. And I want nothing more than to be able to share my experience and convey the messages that have changed my life to you, right? There's trees that need pruning. I can see, there are trees, these trees back here they're dying and they're gonna fall, right? Someone needs to take responsibility for those trees. If they were in the woods, God and the universe and nature would have those trees completely taken care of and they'd be fully cared for and they'd be covered. But in suburban jungle, when they fall, they may destroy a wall, they may damage something else or injure a human, so they need to be addressed. And I need to make very good friends with my neighbor so that he and she will partner with me in deciding what to do about the impending doom. But then there are other things. There's smaller things, like this tree here it has some limbs that are suffering up in here, right? Now, no hard feelings to the previous owner, but I think at some point, when you're managing a large piece of property or lots of things in your life, whatever it is, we all have a lot to manage. There's things that we leave undone and we allow them to go on and on and on. And like a dead limb or tree, it's there hanging over our head. What do they call that? There's a story from Greece or from Rome where there is I almost got it, but there's Damocles. It's I believe the sword of Damocles. And so Damocles has been invited to a feast, a beautiful meal. And hanging above his head the entire time is a massive sword that is being held by one horse's hair. So the moral of the story is you're not going to enjoy your meal. You can't enjoy yourself when you have this thing hanging over your head. And I believe eventually the string breaks and Damocles dies. But I don't know if that's necessarily important for the moral of the story to be driven home. How could you possibly enjoy yourself when there is this thing looming and hanging over your head? But yet it's easy to let little things go. I just stepped on there's a tile here that I stepped on that wobbled somehow. And I could ignore that. I could let that go. I could probably live with a wobbly tile. There it is. I could probably live with a wobbly tile. I don't know. It's pretty wobbly. Someone might take a spill. A senior member of the family could become irreparably damaged on that. And so there again, I need to do something about that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do something about that today because it's actually a lot more of a problem than I realized. Where the heck is it? There it is. So that's the thing, is that there's stuff right underneath our noses that needs to be addressed. And we I don't want to say we're going to miss all of the beauty that's out here if we start to hyper focus on a wobbly tile, but somehow there's more beauty here because you start to look at the wobbly tile. Because this tile can be now replaced, I can now, or work, leveled, I can spend time on that today. Gives me a purpose, gives me something to do. And I might even discover something else about these tiles or the way that the stones are laid here that'll allow me to make improvements in the future. Or I, at the very least, can have the satisfaction of putting it back into place. But I'm going to learn something about laying stone tile today. The other thing is that behind me here, we've got a little stream. Now this stream, when we got here, what they were doing is they were mowing the grass, and I would like to take responsibility for the mowing, but I don't know if that may be something that continues to get delegated to the landscaping company just for time purposes. But that's another story for another time, how to delegate and how to manage our time effectively, and also what's the value of your time. If it takes me half a day to mow the lawn, well, I better get some pretty serious meditation in during that time, or have my money and people working for me so that I can actually afford to spend 3-4 hours mowing. But anyway, they were mowing right up to the edge of the water. So what that means is they were basically weed whacking every single blade of grass so that none of this grass would grow up along the edge here. Now maybe that prevents it from being unsightly. I might end up with an issue or a problem by not weed whacking it, but the entire stream was being filled with grass. It was covered with cut grass, and then that decomposes, and I think it probably makes it an unbalanced system. I'm not a wetlands expert or conservationist, but I'm definitely a conservationist, but I'm not a wetlands expert yet. But the fact that you're dumping all of this biodegradable matter into the water cyclically, and it's all the same thing, it's going to put this thing out of balance. It's just obvious to me. If you're constantly dumping cut grass into a small ecosystem, there's no way that would happen naturally. So with my powers of deduction, I'm saying let's just not dump all of the grass in there and not have all that excess biodegradable matter and also disruption to the little ecosystem. There are frogs. You hear that? Speak of the devil. There's my buddy in there. My froggy friend is in there. And he appreciates it. See, he's saying, don't come in here with a weed whacker. I have a nice little home here. You don't need to whack these weeds. If you can't hear him, he's talking right now. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. This is why I moved to nature. I'm with my people, and we are in communion. Praise be, praise be. So we're not gonna cut this. We're gonna let this grow up, and then I might tear out some of the long grass. When it gets long, I'll tear it out. I'm gonna expose more of the rocks in here. I think we've got a consensus here. We're in agreement. That's the way to go. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to restore the flow of this stream. I'm trying to shepherd this ecosystem and give these frogs a happy place. I can't control what goes on. I can't necessarily control what goes on upstream. There's something that goes, to keep it clean. The sons of bitches up there need to be dealt with as well. So I need to get to know them and say, okay, look, people, town, who knows who's up there. But you can't be polluting the stream. We got little froggies down here that are trying to enjoy themselves. And we've got, we're not mowing the lawn like we used to. Anyway, what's this all about? Finding balance. finding your passion, finding what sets you free, finding what puts you in communion with truth, reality, and allows you to have the life that you want. And you could have this in a city by just, you could have a terrarium, or you could plant something on your windowsill. It could happen anywhere. That's the point. And you got to be thankful for what you have. And I hope you are. And I hope you get what you want. Talk to you soon.